Hi, I'm Rebecca from Ingvid. In this lesson, I'm going to show you two simple changes that you can make to sound more like a native English speaker and also to understand native English speakers when they speak, okay? So that is with two simple words, and plus the, okay? Now, of course, and plus the, we say them pretty often, right? We say them quite a lot. So, what's this little change that you need to make to sound more like a native speaker? Let me tell you. Let's start with and. Now, if I just say this word, and, then of course you're going to say it like that, and. But we don't usually just say that word. We say it as part of a sentence or part of a phrase, right? So what happens then? What happens is that this entire word and is reduced or shortened to sound just like just like an N, okay? For example, over and over, n, okay? Instead of and, we're just saying n, okay? So let's say lots of phrases so that you can hear it, because your eyes are telling you to say and, but I want your ears and your mouth to start recognizing and saying instead of and when it's in the middle of a phrase. And later we'll look at sentences. Okay? Say it. You can say it with me. You can also repeat it after me. Over and over. Over and over. Again and again. Again and again. Good. Bread and butter. Bread and butter. Hide and seek. Hide and seek. This is a game that children play. Okay, it's called hide and seek. Somebody hides, somebody goes to look for them. Another word for looking is seek. All right, let's continue. Cream and sugar. Cream and sugar. Pros and cons. What are pros and cons? Pros and cons are advantages and disadvantages. All right, so even if you said those longer words, you'd say advantages and disadvantages, right? Now you know. Don't say and, just say okay? Black and white. Black and white. Not black and white. Black and white. John and Mary. John and Mary. Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Not Mr. and Mrs. Sometimes we don't even say Mrs. nowadays, but in some countries, these forms are still used. So I'm giving you that example. Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Or we can use it for companies too. Microsoft and Google. It doesn't matter what we're talking about, whether we're talking about cream and sugar or Microsoft and Google, we're still saying cream and sugar, Microsoft and, right? Microsoft and Google. So we almost swallow the word and we just reduce it to except when you want to emphasize the word and, all right? Now this is not true most of the time. This is an exception, all right? This is what happens 99% of the time. But sometimes you really want to emphasize the word and. For example, I want you to call your sister and I want you to apologize. Now, in this case, the person who was saying that really wanted to emphasize this second part, that I don't just want you to call your sister, but I also want you to apologize. So that's why in that particular sentence, we don't just say, I want you to call your sister and I want you to apologize. They were emphasizing it. So that's why they said and like and. But most of the time, this is what you need to do. And in the next section, we're going to look at what happens when we use the word the. Okay, now let's look at another word, a simple word, and that's the word that is spelled T-H-E. Why don't I say it? Because have you realized that this word is often pronounced in two different ways? Sometimes we pronounce it the, and sometimes we pronounce it the. Why? What's going on? I'm going to tell you. Now, what I'm explaining to you is not a rule, okay? But it is a pattern. This is what native speakers do kind of naturally. They haven't been taught that, and it's not a rule, but it is a pattern which you will recognize and which you might want to adopt yourself. All right? So let's understand what's behind it. So we say the when the word that comes after the starts with a consonant sound. Not just with a consonant, we'll see some exceptions in a minute, but with a consonant sound. For example, the cat, the book, the show, the phone, the bus, right? Now, all of those started with consonants, but more importantly, with a consonant sound. Because here, okay, well, let's look at the exceptions in a minute. Let's go on this side. Now, we use the before a vowel sound. For example, we usually say the airline, the eggs, the ice cream, the office, the umbrella. All right? Did you see how that happened? Okay? So, the before a consonant sound and the before a vowel sound. Now, sometimes a consonant like H sounds like an H. So then we can say the hotel. But sometimes H, which is a consonant, is silent. And so it actually sounds like a vowel. So then we say the hour. Okay? On the hour, for example. And sometimes a vowel doesn't sound like a vowel. Sometimes a vowel sounds like a consonant. For example, in this word, university. Even though it starts with a U, it sounds like a Y. So we would say the university, but we would say the understanding. Because here in the word understanding, the U sounds like a, which is a vowel sound. So you have to keep those exceptions in mind also a little bit. All right. And there is one other exception. That sometimes when we want to emphasize something, then we do say the. And then it doesn't matter if it's a consonant sound or a vowel sound for the word that comes after the. For example, this is the best restaurant in town. So here, look what happened. Even though it started with a B, the word after the, we didn't say this is the best. You could say it. It's not wrong, okay? But people would probably say this is the best restaurant in town because they want to emphasize it, all right? But that's the exception. Most of the time, this is what happens. The before the consonant sound and the before a vowel sound. Now, it's your turn. So you're going to try to pronounce the and according to what we've just learned. All right, so now let's practice what you've learned. Okay, here we go. The first 4 sentences are going to have the word and, but you decide how to pronounce it. And the last 4 will have the word the, but you decide how to pronounce it. Because what were the options? And is usually pronounced just like n, and the can be pronounced the or the. So now let's try number 1. Life is full of ups and downs. Ups and downs. Okay, good. I hope you said that. By and large, he's a good man. By and large. What does that mean, by and large? It means in general, okay, overall. The kids come and go. The kids come and go. Not come and go. Come and go. Good, you're getting it. I'm sick and tired of this mess. I'm sick and tired of this mess. Sick and tired. Okay, good. See, is it starting to come? Is it starting to flow? The more, once you understand what's being done, it's a lot easier, right? You've probably, because you've been hearing this. You've been hearing this on TV. You've been hearing this in the movies. If you're watching American shows or North American shows, this is the standard way to speak. And you've been listening to it all along. But now you understand what it is that they're doing. So you might start to sound a lot more like that. Okay? All right. Let's try number 5. What do we say? The time has come or the time has come. What was the rule? Before a consonant sound, we're going to say the. The time has come. Good. Where's the house? Here, house started with an H and sounds like an H. House. So we just say the. Where's the house? Number 7. The apples are over there. This time it's a vowel and it's a vowel sound. The apples. And number 8, what is it? What are the advantages and disadvantages? So let's say it properly. What are the advantages and disadvantages? What are the advantages and disadvantages? What are the advantages and disadvantages? Okay, I know it's kind of long to say, but this one actually was helping you to practice both the word the and the word and. All right, so now when you're watching TV, when you're watching movies, when you're overhearing conversations between people, listen and you'll hear it and you'll be so happy because like, hey, I know that. I learned that on Ingvid, okay? And also you can start talking like that. It'll make you sound a lot more natural and it'll help native speakers to understand you better because now you're speaking in a way that they expect to hear you, okay? All right. So of course, this is a pronunciation lesson, so we don't have a quiz on Ingvid about this, but what you can do, as I said, is go out and listen and go out and practice, all right? And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more lessons in pronunciation. In fact, I have a lesson which you might want to check out right after this. It's on 3 prepositions which we use very often, to, for, and from. And if you think that that's how we pronounce those, well, go watch the lesson and you'll find out that, again, native speakers pronounce them a little bit differently and you can learn how. Okay? Thanks very much for watching and good luck with your English. Bye for now.